The story starts in 1962, where a ship called Antonia Graza is sailing across the ocean. Inside the ship's main hall, wealthy passengers are dancing. Suddenly, a man pulls a lever and a wire is released, killing everyone dancing. A little girl named Katie survives because she is short and the wire passes over her. She screams in horror at what she sees. After that, no one ever learns what happened. The story then jumps 40 years ahead. In the present day, we meet a salvage crew led by Captain Sean Murphy. They recover ships and bring them to shore. One evening, while celebrating a recent success, a man named Jack Effman approaches them. He says he's a weather service pilot and tells them about a ship called Antonia Graza that disappeared 40 years ago in the Bering Sea. He claims the ship has a huge treasure, and driven by greed, the crew agrees to help him search for it. The next day, Sean Murphy and his team head towards the area where the Antonia Graza, a ship that disappeared in 1962, is believed to be. When they reach the spot, the ship is nowhere to be found, which disappoints the crew. But suddenly their radar detects the ship, the same one that disappeared in 1962. That's why they came here in the first place. One of Sean's teammates, JN, stays on the steamer while Sean and the rest of the team go aboard the ship. Inside, they hear strange sounds. They follow the noise and find a clock with its pendulum still swinging. As they approach, the pendulum suddenly stops. One teammate is about to touch it when a loud noise startles them. Nearby, they see a Scrabble board on a table, and the letters rearranged to spell welcome. As they move ahead, the floor beneath one teammate breaks, and he almost falls, but Moren grabs him and pulls him up. While doing this, Moren sees a little girl below. This is the same girl who survived the shipwreck 40 years ago, yet she looks the same age as back then. This means she's actually a spirit. The girl vanishes before Moren's eyes, leaving him confused about whether it was real or just in his imagination. After pulling their teammate to safety, the group heads to a cabin where they find a modern watch, something that couldn't have existed when the ship disappeared. Captain Sean thinks that someone might have been on the ship before them and that the watch could belong to that person. The group takes the ship's manual and meets up with the rest of their team the next morning. They find a big hole in the ship, and because of the damage, the ship is slowly sinking. They plan to fix the hole and move the ship in the next 3 days so everyone gets to work. Meanwhile, Moren goes to the part of the ship with the swimming pool. She is shocked to see bullet marks in the pool. As she looks around, she climbs back up, but then sees the little girl, which scares her. She falls back into the pool and hits her head, causing it to bleed. The pool absorbs her blood, and when she looks up again, the little girl is gone, replaced by Jack. Jack pulls her out, and as they leave, the pool fills completely with blood. Jack and Moren keep going, and Moren opens a door, letting out a lot of water. They enter the space behind the door, but it closes automatically, forcing them to keep moving. They end up in a cabin with 9 wooden boxes. They call the others, and when they open the boxes, they find 28 gold bars in each one. Everyone is excited about the treasure and decides to leave the ship and take the gold with them. They load all the gold onto their boat, feeling happy. But something strange happens. The gas valve on their boat starts turning on by itself, releasing gas into the air. While this happens, Moren sees the same girl running toward her again, looking like she's in a hurry, possibly trying to warn her. However, someone pushes the girl aside. Meanwhile, Moren's companion starts the boat's engine, causing an explosion that kills him. Moren is left confused, trying to understand who this girl is. She looks at the passenger list on the ship and finds the girl's name is Katie. Moren goes to Katie's room and finds her skeleton, realizing that the Katie she's been seeing is actually her spirit. Meanwhile, Sean is in the captain's room, where the spirit of the ship's captain appears. The captain offers Sean a drink and shows him a photo of a ship called Lorelei. The captain explains that years ago, in 1962, they had rescued this ship, which carried gold that was transferred to their ship, Antonia Grace. But 2 days later, their ship disappeared. The captain's spirit then shows Sean another photo of Murphy. As Sean looks at it, his face turns pale. Meanwhile, Moren is sitting with the spirit of a girl who explains that the trip is haunted by many souls. The girl says that whoever is behind this needs many souls to complete their task. Once the task is done, they will be able to move on to the afterlife. One of their companions reaches a place where a party was held on a ship years ago. Suddenly, everything around them turns back to how it was 40 years ago, and the singer who performed at the party appears. The singer's spirit traps this person and takes their life, meaning 2 of their group members are now dead. Meanwhile, 2 other companions find some delicious-looking food and start eating it. But soon they realize the food is actually Sonia, which makes them vomit. Now Sean Murphy, who has figured out a lot, wants to leave the trip as soon as possible and is looking for Morin. At that moment, he meets his companion, who had died in the blast. But it's actually his ghost, slowly approaching him. Meanwhile, Morin tries to escape and heads towards Sean Murphy. Sean sees his dead companion's face on Morin and thinks she's trying to kill him, so he attacks her. However, Morin injures his leg, just as Sean is about to kill her. Jack arrives and attacks Sean, knocking him unconscious. Jack brought everyone here, and since Sean attacked the girl, they locked him in an aquarium below. Soon, the remaining two companions arrive, and they decide to fix the ship quickly to leave, since they have no other choice. They go below to start repairs. Morin was about to search for one of her companions when a mysterious girl appeared in front of her. The girl showed her that the man she was looking for had already died. This man was the same one who had reached the party room earlier. The singer's spirit had seduced him, and her spirit pushed him down from above. The spirit of the little girl shows Morin a vision from 1962, when everyone on the ship was killed in different ways, including Katie. After this, a group of people who came to steal the gold reached the treasure. But the singer, who had been singing in the room where everyone was killed, seduces one of them and traps him. This man then kills his own friends. However, the singer is also greedy. In the end, she kills the man, thinking that now all the treasure is hers since everyone else on the ship is dead. But then, the man who was behind the whole plan shows up. He wanted the gold, and because of the hook, the singer lost her life too. Now the little girl shows Morin the face of the man responsible for everything. When Morin sees him, she's shocked because it's Jack, the same person who brought them here to find the gold. Morin realizes her friend, Sean Murphy, is innocent. She rushes to save him, but by then, he's already dead. The photo the captain gave her turns out to be of Jack, and she sees it in the water. Jack isn't human. He's a demonic being collecting souls for some unknown reason. He might even be working for the devil, wanting to kill everyone to take their souls. Morin tells her friend to watch Jack while she looks for another companion who is underwater. When she gets there, she finds her friend is also dead, killed by Jack. Meanwhile, Jack shows up where Morin told her friend to keep an eye on him. A fight breaks out, and Morin's friend shoots Jack, thinking he's dead, and leaves. Morin decides to blow up the whole ship, so she plants bombs. Just then, the friend who shot Jack arrives and tells Morin they shouldn't destroy the ship. Morin refuses to listen. She says she'll destroy the ship because many souls are trapped there. People are brought to the ship and trapped, which leads to their deaths. The only thing used to trap them is gold. Suddenly, her companion changes into Jack, revealing that Jack killed the man who had just shot him. Jack tells her their jobs are similar. Just as she collects stranded boats and ships, he collects souls. Jack explains that he was once human, but committed many sins, and now he is a soul collector. He needs the ship for his task and doesn't want her to ruin it. But Morin ignores him, so Jack attacks her. Morin injures his leg with an arrow, then uses the same arrow to target the remote. She jumps off the ship, causing a huge explosion. Now Morin is trapped underwater under the ship. At that moment, the soul of a child from the ship appears and shows her the way out. Morin struggles but finally manages to reach the surface. She sees that all the souls trapped on the ship have been freed and are heading to the afterlife. Among them is Katie's soul. All the souls were controlled by Jack because he marked each of their hands after killing them. However, Katie's soul wasn't controlled because she was pure. That's why Katie's soul kept helping Morin. With Katie's help, Morin was able to free all the trapped souls. Now Morin floats in the sea on a piece of wreckage and reaches another ship by morning, which rescues her. When she's brought to the port, she sees from her ambulance that Jack is still alive and transferring gold from the ship to another one. His plan is to use people's greed for gold to trap more people and control their souls, which is what he does. Seeing all this, Morin screams loudly, and the movie ends here. Subscribe to this channel for more stories like this.